Boom! There it is, ladies and gents. I didn't even have a song playing. What's up with that? Anyways, let's jump on this thing. I'll talk a little bit about what I thought of the little glimpse of the State of the Union I got, but how it relates to your business. So let's jump on that. We'll start the show as soon as I find the intro. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Is your business in need of customers? Then you found the right show. Hernan Cias is the business bro, and he makes getting customers fun and easy. Watch, listen, and learn as each episode is designed to sell. Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. All right, ladies and gents. Woo! State of the Union was yesterday. For those of you who've never watched the State of the Union, and I got to be honest, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched pieces of it as I'm kind of prepping for today's show. But the State of the Union, what is it? Right? So it's the President of the United States comes into the halls of Congress, so, where everybody does their votes for all kinds of stuff in Washington, basically stands up there and he gives you the state of our union, right? The union, the United States of America, who we are. This is where our country is today, or at least that's what the speech is supposed to be about. This is what's going on. So he talked about a couple different things, and whether you agree or disagree with politics, I mean, it is what it is. He talked about the war that is happening over with Russia and Ukraine. He talked about how he's going to emphasize NATO rules and how he's putting in strict, I forgot what they're called, sanctions. There you go, strict sanctions in place. He talked about where our economy was. He talked about how they've implemented COVID vaccines and how they've given vaccines around the country. He talked about the healthcare costs and how inflation is increasing across the country, he talked a little bit about the economy and how supposedly they created a lot of jobs in this last year, even though we're going through a major, people are leaving jobs in droves, but apparently we created a lot of jobs. And he talked about a global minimum tax rate for corporations. That's crazy. Talk about New World Order stuff. They talked about investing in college. Like, college investment wasn't a thing in the past. It's ridiculously inflated for the type of education that we're getting. But still, these are all things that the president talked about last night, right? And when you hear these speeches, you got to also understand that there's a little bit of bias, right? They're presenting the State of the Union so that it reflects good on the political party, whoever is in charge. Okay, so there is a lot of bias there. But my thing about today and talking a little bit about the State of the Union is twofold. One, do you actually do a State of the Union for your own business? Like, do you sit down, take a step back and look at your business and talk about it in different aspects? Are you succeeding? Are you where you want to be? Do you know where you're going? Right? How is the economy going to affect you? How is this market change going to affect you? How are you going after new customers? Do you do a State of the Union for your own business? Right? That's number one. And then number two, when you're watching a lot of these things, this is content that's being created. This is a narrative that's being pushed. You can call it propaganda. You can call it, getting information, whatever you want to call it. This is information that's going out, right? And the fact that it goes out, that content is being created, that is power, right? This is the message that's being said over and over and over again. So this is what people begin to believe. And how can you use that same strategy in your own business to help grow, to help do the things that you want to do, to reach the levels of success that you want to reach? So it's funny because initially I was going to call today's show testing, right? Something had to do with, are you testing things out? And as I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Here's the bottom line, right? Here's really what it comes down to. State of the Union. For me and the podcast, we are always trying to get better at what we do, right? Everything from setting automations for when people book or creating automation sequences to promote our business and the things that we do for revenue, or even what I'm trying to automate right now is setting up a schedule so I can reach out and talk to more people, because that's what I do, right? I talk to people. But we're always trying to improve. One of the ways that I want to improve is also in the title of the podcast episodes that we put out. I'm trying to focus my attention on things that are trending. How can I connect with things that are trending? And yesterday was the State of the Union. So even though I was going to talk about today with the guest I was going to be on about testing things in your business and figuring out what works, I'm going to do the same type of topic, but I wanted to change the title so that it's something that's a little more catchy, a little more trendy, right? And this is why I started with the State of the Union. Because really, when you're testing things out in your business, you're trying things out, and the State of the Union is you reporting to yourself on what's going on. That's what really happens, right? We as a country have made certain choices. Whether you agree or disagree, doesn't matter. We made the choice to lock down for COVID. We made the choice to mandate vaccines. We made the choice to pull that back. We made the choice to mask up. We made the choice to go to support NATO. We've made the choice to, look at this global tax. We made the choice to invest in these colleges. Whatever it is in our country, we've made those choices. And so when you're sitting back listening to the State of Union, what you're doing is saying, look, we made a choice. We took action in certain ways. These are the results that happen. That's how I think the State of the Union should go. It doesn't really go that way, politics being politics. But when you think about it that way, your business needs to operate the same way. You see, there's a lot of us out there that what we do is we get into business, we start doing some things, and then we kind of hit a plateau, we get stuck. And so we do the next best thing, the thing that we were taught to do ever since we were in school, which is pick up a book, go read something, go learn something. And here is the first trap that I think most entrepreneurs fall into, including myself, is we pick up a book. Maybe it's a self-help book. Maybe it's a business book. Maybe we're learning to do accounting or whatever it is. But we pick up a book and we learn things. And we get addicted to the learning. We become very knowledgeable in a lot of things. Me personally, I know I will go for a run and I'll listen to an audiobook. And I was in the habit of listening to a book, completely finish the book. I was like, that was awesome. Pick up another book, start listening to that, being like, I connect with that. That's awesome. Yes, that's a good strategy. That's awesome. But what I was lacking was implementation. You see, most entrepreneurs, the reason why they fail is because they're not growing their business. They're repeating the same year of business over and over and over again because they're learning things. They're just not testing them. They're not implementing them. They're not putting them into action. And why? Because of the 10 words that stop us. What will other people say? What will other people think? Those 10 words are the reasons why we don't take action. We don't implement certain things. So we fall prey to reading, right? To just learning and never implementing. Same thing happens in a lot of the social media that we're listening to now. So when you listen to the State of Union, right? The State of the Union, right now we have a Democratic president. If you've grown up your entire life being blue, or you support certain ideologies that are on that side, it's very difficult for somebody on the other side to change your mind. It's just, that's the way it's going to be. We all have our ideologies, right? But we should still have a communication with each other. We should still talk to each other. We should still assess whatever action we took. Was the result the intended result? And if it wasn't, was it a good result? Was it a bad result? How do we modify and adapt? But instead, we have a lot of our own public, I'm guilty of doing this too, is scrolling through our social media stuff, learning things. We're just learning from commentary, whether it's true or untrue, fact or not fact, news or fake news. We're still consuming all this content. We're still consuming all this information. And then we're trying to make an educated guess or an educated argument with somebody else. And we wonder why things don't change, right? So let's pair that back to our business. So you are out there reading a lot of books. You're learning things about your business. And if you can implement those things, you will get better at them. You see, I don't want you to be a dabbler. I used to dabble in a lot of different things. I used to dabble in a lot of different marketing things. When I was in real estate, I dabbled as a door knocker. I would go and knock on doors and try to have a conversation. But when it was hot, I didn't feel like going. When it was cold, I didn't feel like going. I did not commit to these things. Now, I did spend time learning from people who were successful at door knocking. I learned scripts. I learned what to say when I knock on a door. I learned where to stand so that you're not feeling like you're invading somebody's space. I learned how to set up the appointment. And there was a lot of things that I learned, but few of them that I implemented. And see, that is the key here, right? If I would have implemented, and then at the end of the week of door knocking, or at the end of the day, I could assess how many doors did I knock on, right? Giving my own State of the Union. How many doors did I knock on? How many people did I talk to? How many appointments did I set? And then how many listings did I take, right? If I would have kept track and focused on not just learning the material, but actually implementing it, and then giving myself a State of the Union and assessing where I was at, how successful I was, then I was going to improve. But I dabbled in door knocking. I dabbled in cold calling, same type of thing. I spent a lot of time learning about the proper phone system to use, how to get the right list, what scripts I should use, who should I be talking to, what should I say to them, right? All these different things. I spent a ton of time learning, but very little time implementing. So if I can't reflect back, if you can't give yourself a State of the Union, if you can't look at your own results, how do you expect to improve? If you're not measuring what you're doing because you're not taking action, because all you're doing is just analysis of paralysis, you're sticking in the book zone and not actually going out and doing the work, you can't improve. You can't get better. You don't know what to get better at. There's no metrics. James is one of those guys who always is about systems and analyzing progress and knowing where we're at. And he's like, dude, if it can be measured, it can be improved. It's not until I got into the podcast space, right? In the podcast space, things changed for me because I committed I was going to do this 5 days a week. I was committed to doing this for 3 years. I was committed to getting behind this microphone and having a conversation and getting better at creating content and becoming a marketer, because I knew that if I could market and sell, then I was going to be successful in business. Not that I wasn't successful before, but like many of my businesses, I would do well and then plateau. And I couldn't get past the plateau. I couldn't get past this level of success. I was always stuck at this point. And so what did I do? Exactly what I just told you. I started picking up books and started learning from people who were already doing what I was doing. But none of the learning helped until I started doing. Until I stopped dabbling and I committed to getting better. That is the key to your success. Commit to doing something, do it on a regular basis, measure your results, get yourself to have your own State of the Union every single night. Maybe I do it in a journal, right? I write down what my day was like. What was I winning? What did I lose at? What can I improve at? What do I want to do tomorrow to get better? And then since you have some goal in mind, because you're measuring it, you can improve on those different things. I'll give you a classic example. I don't know if you guys have noticed, especially those of you who are following and listen to every episode, I've had a lot of different coaches on the show recently. Now, I could take this two different ways, right? I'm like, do I want to do a show with a bunch of coaches? Or the other side, which is the approach that I'm taking, it's, look, dude, you are resonating with coaches. What problems are coaches having, and how do your products and services help solve their problem? That's the question that I'm asking myself every day. How can I improve my show to provide value to the people who are on it? How can I improve my show to improve the value for the people who are listening? What can I do to make it better for those people? And I test things, right? I mean, a while back we added video clips, right? And the video clips are cool.
Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is.
They're fun. They get certain energy going. They break up the show a little bit. They're great. Then I decided, you know what? The show needs structure, right? The show needs something that is predictable. You know what's coming. It's a little bit different because everybody's different who's on the show. Everybody has a different story, but it's predictable. And I can turn this episode into something of value, something that my coaches or my guests, right, can use to get more business. This is a tool. This is something that in talking to these people, what are they looking for? They're looking for more clients. How do I do that for them? I can do it with paid ads. I can do it with video testimonials and content creation. So the very first time they meet me, right? The very first time they sit down, they've already gone to my website. They see what our funnels look like. They've already received text messages and emails because they know what our operations are like, what our automations are like. They know what products and services we have because we've mentioned it up front. Then they get to the show and they get to deal with me. I come on, I have high energy. We're playing the music of their choice because they picked that song. We have their name scrolling across the bottom, their website. We drop a fire intro, which is all about them. We try to provide the best experience possible. And then the way I ask the questions as I work through my own outline, it's designed to create a sales video for them. Then after the show, they get a couple text message sequences, a couple emails where we give them more content. We also tell them about the things that we can do to help them. And then some of them become clients, some of them don't. But that is the process where I'm at right now. That is my state of the union as of right now. Everything from how do you get to know me? How do you know what products and services we have? Do we provide a great experience for you on the show? Do I continue to talk to you after the show and continue our conversation? All those things are well thought out, but they're thought out because I learned things from mentors. I learned things from books, but then I implemented them. And I'm still implementing them. I'm still testing things out and changing things up and making the adaptations that I need to make. And sometimes I change things and they work really well. Other times I change things and they suck. But I'm trying. You see, and this is one of those things where, taking action and implementation, a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself, like to talk about this idea of failure, right? Fail forward. Fail faster. What does that really mean? Because every time you talk about failure, it sucks. No matter what, failure sucks. When you don't achieve a goal, it sucks. So how do I spin this so it's more positive? So for me, it's always make it happen. Go take action. Do something. Because in the action part, in the testing part, you already inherently know that the outcome might not be the one you want. But because you're taking action, you're accepting the fact that what you do may not work, AKA you fail. But you take the results, you look at what happened, and you adapt and you move forward. Look, no matter what you do in life, there's going to be opportunities that are presented to you. You might see them as problems, but they're opportunities. They're opportunities for you to try something different, to be a little different, to attain something that you're going for. It's funny because in order for us to do a lot of the things we want to do, we have to endure the opposite. Working out, for example, if I want to be ripped, which is what I'm shooting for, right? And I want to have a nice six-pack, nice chest, cut arms. In order for me to do that, to look good, the opposite is I got to feel bad. I got to actually go and sweat. And my body's got to be sore. And I got to do that consistently. I got to accept that this is going to be painful. This is going to be work. I got to accept that that's going to happen in order for me to achieve the result that I want. It's weird how that works. I mean, same thing with your business. Same thing with your marketing. Same thing with your advertising. You have to put it out there. You have to do the work. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because the other side of that is the success. Like, I know that this podcast is going to be successful. And I'm not talking like millions of viewers successful. I'm talking about it brings in the revenue that I'm looking for it to bring in. And it's been building. It's been 3 years in the making. And maybe if I was a better entrepreneur, I could have shut that learning curve lower. Maybe I could have hired somebody else to help me. Or maybe I could have hired a coach to get me there. There are always things we can do to shorten that learning curve. Or you can buckle down and do the work. And that's what I've been doing. That's why the show is where it's at. I had to have it pointed out to me because I didn't notice it myself. But I am a master at setting appointments. I'm improving at closing the sale. But I've gotten really good at setting appointments. The podcast is case in point. As of right now, we are booking podcast episodes, podcast guests into May. People are booking in advance into May. Some of them are jumping the line, which means they're paid podcasts. We are creating opportunities within our show just because every single day I get to sit down and talk to somebody. That is a potential client. How many appointments are you setting? Do you need help setting appointments? Just saying, right? I mean, this is really what it comes down to. I've gotten really good at doing these things. I've gotten really good at creating content. I've gotten really good at going live. I've gotten really good at creating a show that gives the guests a great experience. I've gotten really good at creating opportunities by making appointments. I've gotten really good at speaking better than I ever was in my entire life with implementation. Now, a little fun joke there, right? I was thinking in my mind, I don't know if I should say it, but Joe Biden did a little more speaking. Maybe he'd get a sentence out a little better. All right. Just playing. All right, let's go, Brandon. All right. What else do I got over here? Comfortable, State of the Union, take action immediately. That's about it. It's really what it comes down to. You want your social media, by the way, to get better? You need to post content on a regular basis. But I don't know what to say. Turn on your phone and say whatever you're thinking. I love that I listen to some of these content creators out there that are really, really good. The Gary V's of the world, Brad Lee's of the world. I mean, those guys are awesome. And they say a lot of the same thing. Don't go out there and create stuff. Just document. Right? Document. And you don't have to put everything out there. You only have to put out whatever image you want to put out. So for me, for example, the only two things you really hear about me are my health and my business. You don't really hear about my kids. Yeah, sometimes you'll see them in a story from here and again, right? Every once in a while. Same thing with the wife. You'll see her every once in a while. But none of that is my main priority when it comes to putting out content. Because that's not what I want to be known for. I want to be known for this, helping businesses grow. For marketing, for sales. That is what I want you to know me for. So that is what I put out into the public. That is what I'm testing every single day. That is what I come back at the end of the day and assess. I give myself that State of the Union to see how it's going. And what can I improve? Content creation. All right. This is a perfect time then for me to give you that little pitch, since normally I don't do it because I got a guest on the show, but today you get me. Right? So today, this is my State of the Union. These are the three main products that we offer. Number one, you come on the show, you do an episode with us. We have the opportunity to turn that episode into a sales video. In other words, this is a video you can place on your website, you can place on your landing pages, you can post it on your social media, and it tells people exactly what you do. And not one of those boring ones. It's excited because I'm getting your energy up. I'm getting you pumped with music and talking about you so that when you're on my show, you got a different energy level than you've had behind the camera at any other time. And you are talking about the amazing things that you're doing to solve your customers' problems. So we take that full 30-minute episode, turn it into a less than 3-minute video. That's product number one. Product number two is the one we really pride ourselves in. As a matter of fact, at the end of every episode, I ask for one. And that's called a video testimonial. I mean, you are in business, right? If you're in business, it means you've had a customer or two, hopefully more than that. And if you're still in business, it means that you did a good job for that customer or that client. And when a customer gets everything that they're looking for, when their problem is solved, they are excited. And that is what you want to capture on video. You see, if I tell you how awesome I am, you may believe me, you may not. But if my clients tell you how awesome I am, you're more likely to trust them and what they say than what I say. So video testimonials is the powerful tool that we use. And not only do we use a video testimonial, we turn that into a whole campaign. So one of the cool things that I love to do, so right now we're focusing on car wrap companies, right? So if you need your car wrapped or you want ceramic coating or paint protection, we're focusing on that kind of marketing with the paid ads campaign. And one of the cool things that I love to do, right, Adrian, by the way, made a killer video testimonial for one of our car clients. That was dope. All right, but one of the ways that I love to use that same video testimonial that Adrian made, right? What I do with it is I talk to different car wrap companies. We run ads to get them to have a conversation with me. They're in my DMs, right? In my messenger. And rather than just sending them a message like everybody else, I love to use a video DM. So I hop on there and I say their name. I'm like, hey, John, this is Hernan, Car Wrap Clients. Dude, I'm excited to get working with you. Look, you're looking for results. And the only way I can show you the results that we offer is by sending you a client that we're already working with. So I'm going to drop a testimonial below. If you're looking for results like that, let's have a conversation. And that's it. I send them that little video clip and then I drop the video testimonial. And guess what happens? We set up the appointment. I told you I'm a master at setting up the appointment. And I didn't do that. A customer who was satisfied with the work that we're providing for them helped me make that appointment. That's really what it comes down to. If you're in business, you have customers that are already happy with what you do. Let us take those video testimonials for you. So really simple, go to businessbros.biz. There's a video testimonial link right there. Click on it and you can get set up. You can buy a package 10 at a time, which is what usually our coaches buy, is 10 testimonials at a time. And then we send them a quick little link. This is the one that you send to your clients. businessbros.biz/book testimonial. They book their testimonial. They sit down with me. I get their energy up as much as I possibly can. I ask them the questions and we record a video testimonial. And that's it. Now you have this tool that you can use the same way I use in your conversations with customers who are on the fence and get them to that position where they're happy to work with you. They want to experience the same results that your clients have already experienced. Right? Oh, and I got mom over here too, huh? I believe that you're awesome. Love you, Ma. Oh, mom's always awesome. So product number 1 was our promo video. Product number 2 is our video testimonials. And then product number 3 is our paid ads. I mean, let's face it, if you're new in business or you're trying to grow your business, then yeah, referrals are great, but you got to get in front of people who don't know who you are. This means putting your ads in social media. Some of you see our stuff on social all the time, right? So putting your stuff on social media or looking for people who already have their hand in the air, who say, hey, I need help with this particular thing. So for us, it's car wrap companies, right? So when somebody goes on Google and says, hey, car wrap company near me, we want to make sure we're the ones who pop up first. And that comes from a Google ad campaign. And the one that's creeping up pretty nicely is TikTok, right behind that one. So if you need help getting in front of more customers, getting new customers to come in the door, then want to hit us up for the paid ad stuff. Now here's the bottom line, right? Here's the ultimate bottom line. You can go to almost anybody for any of this stuff, right? You can go to anybody to create your promo video. You can go to anybody to create your video testimonials. You can go to anybody to do paid ad stuff. There are a lot of agencies out there that are doing what we're doing. But here's the difference. You get to work with me. You know that I show up every single day to practice my craft. You know that I'm going to be here every single day so that if I make you a promise, if I tell you we're going to do something and we don't do it, you can hop on the comments just like Adrian does over here, right? What kind of testimonials you see online that are not as effective as video testimonials? That'd be reviews, my friend. Reviews are great. They're just not as good as video testimonials, right? And the one right under that would be a social media post. Because once it goes on for the next day or so, then it's buried. You never see it again. But a video testimonial used as part of your marketing campaign, that can bring you some good stuff. So again, you get to work with me. You get to listen in on the podcast. You get to be a part of the podcast. You get to use my brain, which I've interviewed over 650 different entrepreneurs, listening to what works, what doesn't work, and testing things that work and testing things that don't work. And that's really the difference. Look, whoever you're going to work with, it comes down to coaches or whatever. You just got to jive with them. You just got to agree that you like working with this person. You like having a conversation with this person. This person's actually going to show up and do the work that they said they're going to do. And that's us. That's what we do. So that's my state of the union, ladies and gentlemen. exactly where we're at. We're going to be rounding these 1,000 episodes. That's going to be a milestone for us because I knew that I'd be at a certain level at 1,000 episodes than when I was at episode 1. And it's right around the corner. We got 83 more episodes to go, and then we will be at the 1,000 marker. And hopefully when we get to that 1,000 marker, this business model is also as successful as I want it to be. We're growing. We're getting there. But just like you guys, it takes action. It takes implementation. You got to see whatever the results are and improve from there. All right. So if you guys need help for any of your stuff, make sure you guys hit us up. Businessbros.biz. Where is it at? Of course, it's on the bottom down here. Boom. We'll scroll it down there at the bottom. Businessbros.biz. That's where you got to go. By the way, you're exactly right, Adrian. Not every media person can facilitate energy that I need to be comfortable and talk on a podcast. And you're solid, Hernan. Thanks, man. Adrian, by the way, if you guys are in San Diego, is one of the greatest videographers out here. And why? Why? Because he gets you, just like me, he gets you to get your energy up. He knows exactly what you want to do. Once he has that conversation with you, he's got an idea of how to do it. And he thinks like a director. He puts you in the right spot, in the right angle, with the right light, makes you re-say things over and over again until you get them correct. Because trust me, I mean, I do behind the mic stuff all the time. But sometimes when it goes behind the camera, I forget how to do stuff. I forget how to say stuff. And Adrian helps me through that. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Adrian, you're awesome, man. Mom, appreciate you for always tuning in, always supporting. Love you. And we'll see you guys again next time. Peace. We're out.
Thanks for watching The Business Bros. If you're ready to get more clients and want to work with The Business Bro, visit our website, www.businessbros.biz, and click on the Need More Customers button, or learn how to generate more referrals with our video testimonial packages. Go to www.businessbros.biz and start getting more customers today.